What is a standard of review? A standard of review is the legal framework that an appellate court uses to evaluate a decision made by a lower court. In simple terms, it answers the question, how closely should the appeals court scrutinize the lower court's ruling? It sets the lens through which the appellate judges look at the case. This concept is central in appellate law because appeals are not new trials. Instead, the appellate court's role is to check whether the lower court made legal errors significant enough to change the outcome. The standard of review determines the level of deference given to the trial court's findings. A bit of history. The idea comes from English common law traditions, where appellate courts were created to oversee, but not replace, the decisions of lower courts. In the United States, this balance between oversight and respect for trial courts has evolved into the doctrine of distinct standards of review, applied depending on the type of issue, law, fact, or discretion. There are several main standards of review. De novo review. The appellate court gives no deference to the lower court's ruling and looks at the issue from scratch. This standard is usually applied to pure questions of law, such as the interpretation of a statute. Clear error. Used when reviewing findings of fact made by a judge, not a jury. The appellate court will uphold the lower court's findings unless there is a definite and firm conviction that a mistake was made. Substantial evidence. Applied in administrative law or jury verdict reviews, meaning that the decision stands if supported by substantial, not overwhelming, evidence. Abuse of discretion. Applied when reviewing decisions that involve a trial judge's judgment call, such as evidentiary rulings, sentencing, or granting continuances. The appellate court asks whether the lower court acted arbitrarily, unreasonably, or outside the bounds of acceptable choice. An example. Suppose a trial court interprets a contract and rules in favor of one party. On appeal, the interpretation of contract language is a question of law, so the appellate court applies de novo review and may substitute its judgment. By contrast, if the appeal challenges how the trial judge weighed witness credibility, the standard is clear error, and the appellate court will defer heavily to the trial judge. A curiosity is that sometimes multiple standards of review apply in a single appeal. For instance, an appellate court might review legal interpretations de novo, factual findings for clear error, and discretionary rulings for abuse of discretion, all within the same case. In short, the standard of review is the guiding principle that shapes appellate decision-making, balancing respect for trial courts with the need to correct errors and ensure consistency in the law. Up above, I left you more videos so you can keep learning law. Don't forget to like and subscribe.